Hello, it is a rustic letter, cowhide, very smooth. It's a typical example of rustic letter. Others call them crazy horse letter or pull-up letter, or very professional name of it is aniline letter. If you go to any online encyclopedia, you can find about aniline letter. It's just a pure natural animal letter without any chemical and mechanical correction of the surface of the letter, because most of the letter that are available on the market, that are letters which are chemically or mechanically or both mechanically and chemically corrected surfaces. So there is nothing common with nature with that kind of letter. They looks like a wood painted several times by the dyes, several chemical dyes, which is not fine, because if you like a nature how it looks like, just dress out yourself, stand behind the mirror and look at your skin. Your skin in every part of your body is a little bit different. The different skin is on your ass, different skin is on your legs and around your stomach and anywhere else. Each part of letter is a little bit different. There are many marks, scratches, something like looks like scratches, but they are not scratches. They are just how the natural letter looks like. And here is the sample. This letter, it's how it came from the tannery. This is some big part of that letter I cut out for you to show how it looks like. You can see everywhere many signs, marks, which could be on the picture recognized like scratches. They are not scratches. They are just, take a look. There's no any scratches. This is a nature. This is a pure nature. There's no scratch. See? And what's more, this letter working, aging, very fine. Please take a look how it looked like. It's just fresh, how it came from the tannery. And here is a small wallet I made myself a few months ago to keep ATM cards and little bit money inside. And you see inside, when you not touch the letter so often and so much, it looks a little bit more soft, like a new one, yes. But if you take a look on the outside, when I put my hand very often on them, and when I touch the letter, you see it aging very nicely. Became more dark and became more brighty and shiny. You see, this is how this letter is aging very nicely. Looks for me looks fantastic, because I see, so this is the pure nature, nothing else like a pure nature. And what about marks and anything else? Just can look like scratches. This is a example of the item. If we made it after saving, we do in the factory something like that, to remove that marks, because that marks are natural. If you just make like this by the finger, you see, but when you push the finger around, you see they disappears. And of course, if somebody have a long nails and put it in the foil bag for packing, you see could also make accidentally such a scratch. Or for instance, this letter sample with card, if you put them here, for instance, you see there are scratches. But this is not scratches. This is typical for that kind of rustic letter, because it works like that. It is the nature of that letter. If you do something like that, you see it became more bright. But if you put your finger strongly, it became dark again. Yes, for instance here, yeah, I make something like that, and the color is more lighter, and I press my finger on it with a little bit more power. Yes, and you see it became dark once again. Sorry, it was not visible on the camera, I recognize now, so I made it once again for you. See, it became here more lighter. I put a finger like that, and it is darker once again. Here the same. Yes, I make something like that, and you see here is more lighter of the surface of the letter. I press my finger on the surface, and you see it became dark once again. Oh, here I forgot to press. Okay, so for instance, if you receive your case, for instance it is in the back, and you opening it, you can easily scratch it, you know, something like that. You see now I make something like that, which can be on the picture recognized like a scratch. It's not scratch. It is, this letter is nature of that letter. Just put your finger on it and start to disappear. You see, and more you will press your finger on that place, the more it will disappear, and after some time it disappear completely. And of course, if you will using it and you will put it on your pants, on your jacket, anywhere, the new signs will be visible, of course, and then after placing inside and taking out, they will disappear, and on and on and on, and after 1 month the letter start aging and becoming the more dark surface and more resistance for such a scratches. But of course they are also, you see, visible because I made them by my nails. But of course if I press my finger on it, you see, they disappear. So don't say that it scratches, because I show you by any tool what the scratching means. Because for instance, I take something like that, you know, you see, metal, and I make something like this, which is also not a typical scratch, because it is only a little bit of surface being marked. Of course it is more danger than the human nails, but of course it's also possible to remove. Not so easy, not so quick, but you know, few times to pressing the letter bar by your finger, and you will remove them. But if you use such a tool, that make the scratch, because scratch is changing. It is changing the surface of the letter very deeply. If you made it very deeply by something like that, you see, then the scratching will be visible forever. Because even if you touch them by the finger very strongly, they little bit disappear. They became a little bit darker, but of course, obviously, they will be visible. So scratch on that kind of letter only could be made by the very sharp tools, like knives, like any other similar equipment. But by the nails, by some part of metal, for instance coins in your pocket or case or something like that, it's impossible, because even if you made something like that, yes, that's no problem, because it is natural. It's a nature of that letter, because this letter is changing all the time. This letter is changing its surface. It will become a little bit darker each day by day, and after 1 month or later, it will be looks like that. You see the difference? Here is a new one, yes. Here is like a new one just after manufacturing process. it's look like that, and this is after few months of using it. I made it on the April last year. Movie is making now, it's first day of February, so you see nearly 1 year, and how nice it looks.